Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an interesting financial news article. I've included a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the author and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on yahoo.com put out by Banking Rates and written by Angela May, which was titled, 8 Ways People Become Poor While Earning a High-End Salary. According to the author, even high earners aren't always in a good position financially. According to a Lending Club report, nearly half of people earning $100,000 a year struggle to make ends meet. Rather than building wealth, a lot of these individuals are actually living paycheck to paycheck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a $100,000 annual salary just doesn't go as far as it once did. The money comes in and then poof, it's gone. Does this surprise you when the average new vehicle price here in America is approximately $48,000 and the median home price in the United States is $412,000 as of September 2023? Depending on where you live in the country, $100,000 could be very difficult to survive on. However, there are some areas in the country where you could still have a good quality of life with this level of income. It really depends on where you live and what your lifestyle is like. If you earn $100,000 a year and you want to live in Manhattan, well, good luck. If you earn $100,000 and you want to live somewhere like Hickory, North Carolina, Youngstown, Ohio, or Huntsville, Alabama, you might be comfortable. Now, I will mention that the author of this article says that many people consider a high-end salary to be anything in excess of 6 figures. That is, the $100,000 range or higher. She says this because the average annual salary in the United States of America in 2023 is $56,220 across all occupations. I personally think it would be very difficult for a family with children to thrive on only $56,220 per year, depending on where they live. Even $100,000 a year could potentially be tough for a family with children to survive on, depending on where they're living in the country. Anyway, getting back to this article, the author discusses why people with a high-end salary become poor. Over-reliance on credit cards is one of the reasons. The author references Diana Howard, who is a financial analyst at Coupon Birds, who said, and I'll quote, "A Quicken survey reveals that 46% of individuals with higher income depend more on their credit cards compared to the middle income groups, 40%, and lower income groups, 39%. It's pretty normal to have credit card debt, but once the balance is broken, rich people can sink deeper in the mud. In my opinion, it is so easy to swipe the credit card or use the tap feature at the checkout everywhere. You don't often realize how quickly all of these charges add up. You can log into your credit card company online portal and see a huge amount of money that you owe at the end of the month. Some people wonder, how in the world did I spend this much money? Please keep in mind, some people have a lot of other bills beyond what they charge on a credit card. Many people have a rent or mortgage payment, vehicle insurance payment, phone bill, cable bill, internet bill, medical bills, and sometimes there isn't enough money left over at the end of the month to pay off the large credit card balance. So what happens? Well, often individuals like this are in a situation where they need to let that credit card debt roll over to the next month, and they have to start paying interest on this debt. Given the fact that the Federal Reserve has hiked their Fed funds rate 11 times, the interest being charged by credit card companies is the highest it has been in a very long time. This credit card debt can continue to get larger and larger month after month until it becomes a very large dent in the monthly budget. This credit card debt is toxic, and can snowball out of control even for someone earning a six-figure income. Life is expensive, and using the credit card can be dangerous if you are not disciplined. Now, please understand, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from using credit cards. I use credit cards every month to earn the cash back, but I always watch what I spend, and then I always pay off the entire balance at the end of the billing cycle. Just be careful with credit card usage and make sure that you can pay off your balance so that you aren't giving money to these greedy credit card companies. A lot of you work very hard to earn your income, and I hate to see any of you having to pay interest to these credit card companies. The next on this author's list is succumbing to lifestyle creep. She references Todd Stern, the founder and CEO of the Money Manual. He said, and I'll quote, "For example, many of us started with one streaming service, but then we added another and another, and before long, it's a serious monthly expense." The same can happen with fancy restaurants, dinners, nights out, travel, and more. Then, once you get accustomed to this lifestyle, it can feel challenging to go back to living simpler. Ladies and gentlemen, what this individual is talking about is real. Even for me, as frugal as I am, I often feel this one. I think back to how little I spent when I was in college. I didn't even have a car back then. I had an old bicycle with foam padding on the handlebars that was falling apart. I never went out to dinner at a restaurant or went to the movies or bought clothes from Goodwill. I just got by with what I had. After I started my first professional job, I found myself spending more money on clothes and shoes, and then I wanted a laptop, and I had to pay for a car and all of the expenses that go along with owning a car. As time went on and I started making more money, I wanted a nicer car. Before you know it, I was spending a lot more money than I had intended to. I was perfectly happy back in college. Life was a lot simpler and a lot less expensive. Today, I am still frugal, but life is certainly more expensive than it was when I was back in college. For some people, they end up buying a house in an area with a good school district for their children, and then they need to decorate that house a certain way so that it looks nice when entertaining their friends, family members, neighbors, or even coworkers. That all costs a lot of money. Have you been to furniture stores recently? It is crazy what the prices are for furniture. A lot of that furniture isn't even great quality. We aren't talking about Chesterfield sofas hand-built in England by craftsmen with a hardwood frame, hand-rubbed top grain leather, and solid brass nailhead trim. In some cases, these furniture stores are selling plywood frame furniture with cheap bonded leather and then charging a premium for these pieces. Some of these people end up financing the furniture for their new home, and that's one more bill that they have to worry about after the zero payments and zero interest period ends. I have a friend who ended up in this situation years ago. Many people feel like they need to drive a nice vehicle to work, and they end up with a large vehicle payment each month. And they often end up with a high vehicle insurance bill along with expensive vehicle registration. A lot of newer vehicles have sporty, large aluminum rims. These larger diameter rims have low profile tires, and these are not cheap to replace. The $100,000 annual salary can be gone before you know it. And we haven't even talked about how much money children are going to cost for some parents. Parents have to worry about how much it is going to cost for food, clothes, school supplies, electronics, medical care, and if the children participate in sports or other extracurricular activities, then watch out, because it is likely going to get expensive. As children get older, lifestyle creep will probably accelerate. Have any of you experienced this? If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. The next on this author's list is not making tax-efficient money moves. She references Kelly Milligan, managing partner at Quorum Private Wealth, who said, being in a high tax bracket should cause high earners who aren't rich yet to think harder about the tax location of their investments and to take advantage of account types that offer tax shelters. In my opinion, people, especially someone with a business, should get a good CPA and work closely with him or her and get a handle on their financial situation and work the tax code to their advantage. Many people will never do this because they want to penny pinch and use an online tax service each year instead. The problem with this is some individuals will end up making foolish decisions with their money and they don't even realize it because they have never worked closely with a tax professional. The next on this author's list is trying to keep up with the Joneses. The author talks about how it is not uncommon to try to compete with those around you to have the nicest cars, houses, watches, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real. This even happens on a small scale sometimes. I remember years and years ago, I bought a new phone, and this was prior to smartphones. This phone had a feature where it would actually announce the name of the person that was calling. One of my friends heard an incoming call when we were hanging out, and the next time I saw him, he had gone out and bought a phone similar to mine, but he couldn't have the model that I had, so he got the next highest tier model above mine. Now, we are just talking about a phone here, but some people do this with cars and houses. They have to one-up their friends or neighbors. This can often get out of hand, and some people stretch their budget to keep up with the Joneses. This lands a lot of people in financial trouble, even high earners. Some people end up working just to pay for all of their belongings. They trade hours of their life for money at a job to pay for their things. It is not a good situation when your things own you. The next on this author's list is lack of financial discipline. The author suggests having a financial plan to help prevent overspending or other poor money habits. I agree with this. Some people who never had a decent income before end up blowing money and going out and buying things that they always wanted once they start making some good money. Before you know it, they're in trouble financially. A financial plan could help constrain spending to make sure you don't let this happen to you. The next on this list is skipping the emergency fund. The article mentions having an emergency fund that is large enough to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. Here's my opinion. Now that you can buy a short duration U.S. Treasury paying close to 5.5% interest, why not have 6 months to 12 months in an emergency fund? This way, if you get laid off from work, you won't be stressed out about finding another job. I think people could sleep a lot better at night with more reserved cash earning interest in the event you need it when something unexpected happens in your life. Next on the list is not using corporate benefits properly. The author mentions taking advantage of a 401k plan. For some people, a 401k may make sense. You can lower your taxable income by contributing your earnings into a 401k pre-tax. Of course, you'll have to pay taxes on the money once you retire and start drawing down that account. Consult a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost to determine if contributing to a 401k makes sense for your particular financial situation. Last on this author's list is not planning ahead. According to the author, having a sound financial plan is key to building and maintaining wealth. But a lot of people, including high earners, don't look at the bigger picture or think about their future. I can believe this 100%. A lot of people just wing it. They let the years roll by, and before you know it, they're close to retirement and not prepared. Many never take the time to have a financial plan for the future. It's sad that many people will spend more time planning a vacation than they will spend planning for their future. People, get your financial life in order before it is too late. What do you think about everything that I've discussed today? Do you know six-figure earners who are living paycheck to paycheck and struggling financially because of some of the things that I discussed today? If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.